Hi, Founder fans. Jason here, and today's founder is Johnathan Elmer. Johnathan Elmer grew up in New Jersey and was taught at home. And interestingly, at a time where people usually went to college at about 16 years old if they were ever going to go, Johnathan Elmer went at 20 years old, which is a little bit older than expected. However, he went to what was then the College of Philadelphia, but has since become known as the University of Pennsylvania, and was an original member of the medical school at the University of Pennsylvania. And with that, he was part of the original graduating class and became one of America's first breed of professionally trained doctors. There had been people who acted as physicians, but had kind of learned on the job, so to speak. And there were other people who went to Europe to learn to be doctors. But again, Johnathan Elmer was one of the original American-made doctors. Now, he did go back to New Jersey to create a practice, but the American Revolution broke out soon thereafter, and he joined the militia as a captain. And he fought with the militia for several years before New Jersey then selected him as a delegate to the Continental Congress. Interestingly, Johnathan Elmer would go to the Continental Congress on 3 separate occasions, but he never signed any of the interesting documents. He showed up just after the Declaration was signed and left just before New Jersey signed the Articles of Confederation. He would then come back after the Articles, leave, and then return when the Constitution was signed. But of course, at that point, the Continental Congress was operating in New York City, and the Constitution was signed in Philadelphia. Either way, Elmer was held in very high regard by his community, and New Jersey elected him as one of the inaugural United States senators from New Jersey. And there were only 13 states at the time, so he was one of only 26 people to sit in the United States Senate when it was created. Now, he didn't really stand out much during this term, but he did help establish the legislation that not only created the procedures of the United States Senate, many of which are still held today, but actually helped to create the Judiciary Act of 1789, which is how the United States justice system was created. And again, he was a bit part in creating that, but he did help establish that. After his term in the Senate was up, Elmer actually approached George Washington for several positions in the federal government, but unfortunately those were not to be had. So he retired from public life to private life, where he finally got to focus on that physician career that he had trained for so many decades beforehand. So that's the story of Johnathan Elmer, a much underappreciated but very important American founder from New Jersey. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit like, and if you're new here, definitely subscribe. I put out videos like this 5 days a week, including videos like tomorrow, where I do my weekly live recap of the 7 articles I wrote in the past week. So I hope you can join us tomorrow for that, and I will be back then.